Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. It's Dr. Lori, the PhD Antiques Appraiser. Hi, thanks for joining me. It's another live with Dr. Lori. It's time for Dr. Lori's treasure hunt game. I'm the expert. I'm going to tell you what you've got, tell you what it's really worth, identify it properly, help you make some money. So it's nice to see all of you. It's nice to see all of you. Thanks for being with me. Don't forget, of course, that I'm going to teach you what you've got, what it's really worth. Let's get started right now with the treasure hunt game. You love the game, right? I know you're playing at home. You've been telling me that you're playing. I'm going to put on my gloves. I'm going to show you some objects. We're going to see if you can guess. Let's see how good you are at asking those questions of these objects. You see them at a thrift store, an antique shop, other places. So you want to see what's what. Let's start with this. You want to start with this. I'm going to put it right here in my palm so you can all see it, right? So what do you think? What do you think? Some of you might go, oh, I know what that is. Oh, I know, Dr. Lori. I'm going to hold it up here to the camera and hold it right up here so you can see it, so you can see what's happening on the bottom. And oh, yeah, all of you are like, I can't see it. I can't see it. Dr. Lori, you should hold it up. You need a cameraman. You need this. You need that. Hey, I'm trying to spend my time in helping you people. So my great staff has figured out something to help all of you who are like, I can't see it. I can't see it. Can't you hold it up to the camera? I can't see it. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do for all of you folks. Here it is. Can you see it now? Now can you see it? That's the Dr. Lori cam. That's right. It's the Dr. Lori cam, so you can see it. So I don't have to hear, oh gosh, I can't see it. I want you to see it. I want you to learn it. I want you to get it. So they have given me the Dr. Lori cam, and I'm going to be dangerous with this thing now because technology allows all of it. I'm going to get close to the hobnails, right? I'm going to show you even the base. Do you see that base? What should you be looking for? Do you know what questions to ask? What do you do? What do you do when you have a piece like that? What do you do? What do you want to ask me? Okay, get ready. It's Dr. Lori's treasure hunt game. You love it? What do you love about it? What's great about it? Do you like the color? Is it signed? It is not signed. There is not a signature. There is not a mark on it. Now what do you do? What other questions do you want to ask? Is it pressed glass? It indeed is a pressed glass piece. So the hobnail decoration is pressed glass, right? Is it marked or signed? I guess that means signed. But no, it is not signed. It is not signed. There is not a mark. You see the bottom? You want to see the base? So I'll show you the base. I'll show you the base here too. All right, let's see. Let's get you the base. You see the base? Not signed. Okay. All right. What do you think? What other questions have you got? You got to know the questions they ask. What questions do you have? Any chips or cracks? Good question, Margie. No chips, no cracks. Perfect condition. I'd call it excellent condition. Not mint, right? Like we just got it brand new, but excellent condition. All right. Mutant. Is it mutant? Jackie wants to know. What other questions do you want to know? Looks like carnival glass. Okay. It's not carnival glass. It does not have the iridescence of carnival glass. Carnival glass usually has an iridescence, right? This is a type of glass that has a particular name, right? So it's called, of course, colonial blue glass. A particular name for this particular color. Is blue more valuable than amber? It depends on the piece. So blue can be more valuable than amber depending on who made the blue glass, okay? So if you're dealing with colored glass, what we sometimes call Depression era glass, that could be where blue is more valuable. Sometimes blue or cobalt glass. This is colonial blue, not cobalt, different. Does it glow? No, it does not glow. It does not fluoresce under a black light, which would indicate that it is uranium glass, also known as Vaseline glass. Hello, Mick. Thank you very much for your super chat. I appreciate them very much. You help support the channel. How heavy is it? How heavy is it? Well, it's got some weight to it. It's a pretty good piece. It's a pretty good piece. I mean, it's not as heavy as lead crystal, right? Because, of course, lead crystal has to have 24% or more lead weight, lead content. So that's usually heavier, right? What else do you want to know? What else do you want to know? Pretty good questions so far. Thanks for the Dr. Lori camera. I'm glad you love it, Cindy. I'm glad you love it. My staff did that. I don't do it. I can't do any of this stuff without my staff. So I appreciate you respecting them as much as you do me. So yes, 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 I love it too. What was it used for? This? Oh, my mother would say that's for nice. It's got a nice ruffled collar. That's what this is called, the ruffled collar around the top. I use my cam because I'm so good at it now. I learned how to do that. So here's the ruffled collar around the top. I'm not that good at it, actually. It's fun, though. Oh, get your finger out of the way. There we go. And then it's got the ruffled collar. And then down here, you've got the hobnails and then the base, right? Something interesting in the base, right? Okay. And then it could be used for little posies. My dad would say, oh, honey, we sent you posies, right? Little tiny flowers, but typically just for nice, the way it's going to look for itself. What other questions? Any other questions? Nobody asked me about the date. What about the date? You put ice cream in it. Deborah, girl after my own heart. Okay, what? Chocolate, vanilla, what? Ruffled or fluted? I call it a ruffled column because a fluted piece usually doesn't have where the indentation goes in and out. A fluted is usually, it comes up like that. So ruffled. Mag, bubble in the base. So you see bubbles in the base? Did you see the seams in the base? I want you to look for the seams in the base, okay? The seams in the base. Footed trumpet, okay? Here's the seams in the base. Let me get to that. Do you see those? Look at those. This camera is cool. Nobody else has this camera. Nobody else has the Dr. Lori cam, right? Right? I'm the expert. I'm going to teach you what to look for. So there's an element that you're going to see, right? On the Dr. Lori camera, you're seeing that base. I want you to look at all of the elements of the pieces. I want you to see all of it. And the reason why I want you to see all of it is I want you to have an understanding of what you should be looking for. So basically, I want you to see the consistency of the hobnails, where each one of the hobnails, right? Each one is actually in its own straight line going all the way up. It's a really nice piece. I love the color, right? Anybody want to ask about the date? How old is it? That should be sort of your number one. How old do I think it is? Jackie needs a Dr. Lori cam. This is a great piece. This is a great piece. So how much do you think it is? Is it from the 1960s? It's a little later than the 1960s, not by much. It's the late 1960s, early 1970s. It is pressed glass. They called it molded pressed glass with a ruffled collar. It's nice, nice piece. Not the 50s, Star Walker, not the 50s. Not the 80s, Cosmic, not the 80s. Nope, nope, nope. How much do you think it's worth? It's from the late 1960s to the early 1970s, 1968, 1971 or 2. Guess the value. What do you think it's worth? Let's hear those guesses. What do you think? What do you think? It's Dr. Lori's Treasure Hunt game. I play this game. If you haven't checked out the Binge Link, I want you to check out the Binge Link, which is also in the description. And that will help you to get all the times that I play this game, because I play this game on ABC Network TV. I play it on CBS Network TV, Pittsburgh and Tampa and Philly. I play it all the time on TV every single week, as well as here at night with all of you guys. But you can watch those too if you get the Binge Link. So you have to subscribe to the channel, and then, of course, look for the Binge Link, which is in the description. And don't forget about the community tab. The community tab will also help you. A lot of information, a lot of surprises and things that you'll want and need in the community tab. So if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, I need you to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, you'll be able to get to the community tab. And the community tab is all about our community, right? But it's also the place where I'm going to give you big, big, big surprises, right? A lot of extras on the community tab. So get to it. Hi, Gracie. Thanks so much for this. I'm making a solid income after only 1 month of Dr. Lori's videos. It's a dream come true, Gracie. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. That's wonderful. You deserve it. You're working hard and I'm helping. I'm so glad. Spread the word. Spread the word. Good for you. I'm so glad, happy to hear that. That's terrific. Cosmic, $19.66 to $80. Is it $66? Is it $80? What does that mean? Jan, $30. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think? How much you think it is? Tax and business zone, Los Angeles, $20. What do you think? Who made it? Any idea who made it? Jan. Jan says 75. I like her sunglasses. Jan said 75. What do you think? What do you think? Any more guesses? Any more guesses on the value? Diggin' Mary says 25. Danielle says 15. Eric says 25. Patricia, how tall is it? Good question. Good question. Size matters, people, right? So I would say it's probably 4 inches tall. Nice, right? What do you think? What do you think? Let's put it here as you can see. What do you think? Ah, Kathy thinks it's Fenton. Yes, indeed, it's Fenton. It's Fenton Colonial Blue. It dates from the late 1960s, early 1970s. Deborah, thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate it very much. You're helping support the channel. You're helping me to make more videos to help all of you. I appreciate it. I'm so glad that all of you are doing so well. You're making a solid income. That's what I like to hear. Indiana or Westmoreland or Fenton? Okay, well, is it this? Is it this? Is it this? You know, you got to choose. You know, is it Dr. Lori or is it some other person or some other person? You know, you got to go with what it is. It's Fenton, right? Okay, well, here's what it is. Let's see how well you did. It's Fenton Colonial Blue Hobnail Glass. It's made 1968 to 1971, and value on it, are you ready for it? It's worth $60. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, that's your first one. How did you do? How did you do? Dr. Lori's Treasure Hunt game. What a good time. So I hope you're playing along. I hope you're competing with your friends, you know, happily competing with your friends. And I'm going to do some more on these too. I want you to remember about the community tab because it's going to help you. Big surprises on the community tab. The other thing that I want to thank you for is all the super chats. You were way off, huh? Debbie nailed it. You were way off. That's funny. I want to thank you for the super chats and thank you for the super stickers. It helps support the channel and support everybody trying to learn. No way will it sell for that on eBay. I got news for you. My values are based on actual sales records where similar pieces have sold. If you can't sell it for that on eBay, on Etsy, on any of the online auction sites, let me tell you what. You're not doing something right. You're not finding the right buyer. I want to teach you how to find the right buyer. It's the reason why I've been doing this for 30 years. Is the reason why I've been teaching people how to make money for 30 years. That, oh, you can't get that much for it? That's what people say when they really don't know the market. Now, the markets do change in certain times. But in fact, you want to look at these pieces, and all my values are based on actual sales records. So how do you know it's not a Fenton knockoff? Okay, a couple of reasons how I know it's not a Fenton knockoff. One of the reasons is the color. The color, the way in which these colors are proprietary to certain manufacturers or certain companies is one of the reasons. Also, the quality of the piece. There are Fenton knockoffs. There are knockoffs for a lot of pieces. But in this particular case, it's not a Fenton knockoff. Don't only look for a mark. Remember, there are a lot of pieces that are unmarked that are actually the authentic, real thing. So be aware of that. Very good question, though. Smart question, too. Don't forget about the Binge Link, but I wanted to also remind you a couple things. A lot of you have been asking me questions this week. I've been taking a lot of questions. I was doing a video call, and you know, one of the video callers actually brought this up and said, I asked some questions. I don't really know what I'm doing wrong. You know, I'm trying to get to the right answer. And I said, you know what? I'm sending you emails answering your questions, and you're just not reading them. You're going off. You see like one sentence, and you're going off like, you know, without reading the whole thing. 99 times out of 100, if I respond to you, I've told you the steps that you need to take. So I really need you to read those emails if I'm sending you one. Read the comments when we, of course, get back to you, when I get back to you with the comments, those kinds of things. So the best thing you got to do is pay attention. And if you have a question, ask it. Thanks so much for the super sticker. I appreciate it very much. It really helps everybody to support the channel. And when you do the super stickers, it tells me that it really is, in fact, working for you. I know when you're doing the super chats and the super stickers that I know that everything on the channel is helping. There's a lot of videos, a lot of information. Watch them and rewatch them. The radio I used to work for used to tell me it's not about how much it's worth, it's about how much someone is willing to pay for it. Well, you know, Jan, there are people out there who will pay too much. There are those people, and I've met a lot of those people. I've tried to help those people to understand what the real market is. And there are a lot of people who just always say you can't get that much for it. And those people are usually the people that you got to watch out for because they want to get something from you really, really low. Oh, you can't get that much for it. So when I hear that, I think, well, let's educate folks about what the market really will bear. Okay. And the thing is that you can see that. Tricia, can't wait till March 20th, starting your email priority service for 3 months. Well, yeah, I mean, the priority service is very popular, as are my 30-minute video calls. Those video calls can do a lot within a very short time frame. So that is popular. Yes, the priority service is popular too, with unlimited information, unlimited, of course, appraisal information. So let's keep going. So then I wanted to talk with you a little bit about the treasure hunt game, and I wanted to hopefully teach you another thing about one of the most emotional markets. And the emotional market that I'm talking about is the toy market. Toys and games, really emotional. A lot of people will pay a lot more than what they're really valued at for that old toy that they don't have anymore, that they had as kids that they want to reclaim, right? So let's do another one. You ready for another one? You ready to guess? Let's see how good you are at guessing, right? Let's see how good you are at knowing which question to ask. How good a thrifter are you really? So if you saw this piece, right, and you saw this piece, tell me what questions you would ask about it. I'm going to go this way, right? You're going to see the crown on the top of this. It says Queen Busy Bee over here. And then, because I'm so technologically advanced, let's see what else we got here. And then we've got the Dr. Lori cam. And there's her little crown. I need a crown. Don't you need a crown? I think we all need a crown. We're going to make ourselves some crowns out of tinfoil tonight. Okay, and then, do you call it tinfoil or aluminum foil? What do you guys call it? I call it tinfoil. I don't know why. I guess it's more made of aluminum than it is of tin. I'm not really sure. So then there's this Queen Busy Bee over here. And then here's the back. You see the back? This is for the folks who are doing the replay, right? So you have an idea of what's happening too. Do you see that mark? You see it's from East Aurora, New York. The Fisher-Price toys. It's got a patent mark on it too. This is all important information for you. For those of you who are saying, oh, I don't know, what to look for. You're not showing me what I need to see to make a good decision. I want you to see something else about making a good decision. Say you didn't have that mark. Say you didn't have the Fisher-Price toys mark on the back of this piece. Say all you had was this. All you had was this part. And this part is the back of this particular piece. What would you need? I'll tell you what you'd need. You'd need this loop that I told you to get, right? That you can get, of course, at the shopping page, right? So drloriv.com/shopping. And basically, you see this loop? I want you to be able to look at that. I want you to look through that loop and have an understanding of what that should look like, okay? So, and even the smaller one is even going to do you a turn better. But basically, I want you to use this loop because this loop is going to teach you a lot about how to identify what this is. So I showed you this. That particular area, right, is going to tell you a lot about how the piece is made. The other area that's going to show you a lot about how the piece is made is right here near the eye. You see that little dot above the eye is actually holding what together? It's actually holding these antennae together, right? So that antennae is what you're looking at too when you see it right here, right? That's what we're looking at. And I want you to be able to see these kinds of things because these are the little details that you have to look for when you're looking at a piece. When you understand the construction, you start to see about quality, right? So you're looking at this piece saying, okay, well, it's a pull toy. What are your questions? Let's hear them. Just got my new loop. Mine was ancient. Well, you need my loop. My loop is excellent. It's not ancient. It's excellent. And it's got of course, the light on it too. Decal or painted? There it is. Timothy's got it. It is not a decal. It is not cloned on. Missing a stinger. It is not missing a stinger. What it's missing on the front is it's missing the pull, right? It's missing the pull. Love the Dr. Lori cam. Bobby likes the I like the Dr. Lori cam too. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Not everybody does it. Is it a decal? So basically, but how did they make the image of the decal? What is the image of the decal? What kind of print is the image of the decal, right? So you think, okay, it's stuck on here, but in fact, it's lithographed. So that's just the same as having a color lithograph print, only what they did was they put it on here as a decal, okay? So now you know, it is wood. Got to always look under the bottom, right? It's wood, and of course, it's going to make noise as it moves, right? Okay. What else do we want to know? Questions? You saw who made it. Used to remember ducks like that. There were ducks. There were little Snoopy dogs. There are a lot of them. There's even a telephone pull time. Paper transfer decoration. It's not really a transfer per se. You're close, Jan. It's not really a transfer per se, but basically that's what it is. It is missing the pull. So yes, there is a missing part. Good question. Missing the pull. The little string that the kid would pull it with. And then there was a little one of these at the end of it. Condition. Condition is condition is good. I'd have to like work toward good, right? It's not really fair. I think it's good. You do still have the crown. You do still have both antennae. You do still have the wings. You know, you have the little flowers that have not gone off. Are the styles of the eyes an indicator of when it was made? Yes. The style of the eyes is an indicator of when it's made. And I want you to think about the comic strips of that time, the funny papers. Is it lead paint? No. There's not a lot of paint on this at all. This is not painted. This is a printed piece. So no lead paint. You still have Snoopy. Yeah, Snoopy is fun. Snoopy is fun. Same type of thing from, of course, Fisher-Price. Is there a date on it? There isn't a date on it, but the information about this mark on the back actually helps to date it, right? So it says East Aurora, New York. It also says Fisher-Price Toys. So remember, Fisher-Price will change the way that they label things as their company history goes on. So once you learn more about the company history, you would know what date that label is to, okay? This piece dates to the middle part of the 1960s, okay? So remember, this particular one is the one from the 1960s. I think the 50s, my husband says it looks something like he remembers. Okay, Patricia's husband remembers it. Okay, 50s, 60s, this one's about the 60s. So maybe your husband has a better memory than he thinks. John, you and me need to get some crowns. Yeah, we need some crowns. Let's get a big crown. Okay. What else? What else? Thanks for being here tonight. Can you date based on the patent? Yes, Karen, you can date based on the patent. So there's a serial number here, and you can actually look those up, and the patent numbers you can also look up. It's easy to look them up through the patent. You can do that, of course, just checking it online. The other thing is, remember that you want to make sure that you are getting the recent patent, okay? So the patent might be for something that is part of this, right? So not the whole piece, but something that relates to part of it, like a design patent for making the noise, right? That it sounds like a bumblebee, or the click, click, click kind of thing. Hazel says under $15 on eBay. Oh, we're guessing the values already. Hazel has gone ahead. She's not asking any more questions because she thinks she knows what's going to sell for on eBay. Is eBay the only place to sell, and is it the best place to sell toys? Oh my gosh, Dr. Lori, I didn't even think of that. Well, you know, you got to know your market. You got to know where to get the top dollar. If you only sell in one place, is that always the best? You got to ask yourself that question. Okay, so let's guess the value. Oh, neat. Does patent work with glass too? Patents can work usually with manufactured pieces, so you can look up patents, but they might have a patent for a particular piece of glassware, and then that particular piece of glassware has a patent from 1914, but it's made in 1950. So it doesn't always work to tell you when your particular piece of glass has been made. Okay, let's guess the value. What do we think? What do we think? Guess the value. No value guessing? Well, we know Hazel thinks everything's $15. So Hazel's losing some money a little bit. Do colors? I didn't see it. I'm sorry. Do colors? $50. Bobby says 50. Is 50 too high? 45 buckaroos, Lori. Susie says 40. Good condition, not excellent condition. 25 in Twinette. Joanne says 25. Elizabeth says 50. Rosemary says 65. Who do you market it to? Do you market it to little kids today who are on their iPads, or on their iPads, or do you market it to somebody who wants it for nostalgia, right? 85. 85 seems high. 45, Deborah. 25, Susan. 70, Edith. I'm still at 35. Nate is still at 35. Deborah says 35. Vestments and Vintage, V&V, 55. 20, Tom says 20. All information on the community tab. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube to the community tab. 67, Luciano, that's a little high. 67. I would market it to baby boomers. Joanne, I agree with you. I would market it to baby boomers who want to get their toy and give it to their grandkids. All right? That's a lot of what this is all about, the emotional markets. Eric says 65. Eric says 65. It's a nice piece. It's a nice piece, right? What do we think? A couple more guesses? 37.50. Get the extra 50 cents. I would. Yeah, market it like that. 15 to 25. Remember, Hazel said 15. Vintage, Terry says 50. Purple Tiger Thrifting, 55. Bernard says 30. Okay, couple things I want you to look for. I want you to look for, when you're dating these pieces, the juxtaposition between the lithograph paper decals and the plastics, the use of plastics in this way, because the value, the actual cost for the plastics is starting to go down. You'll notice that the crown is plastic, the little wings that turn are plastic, and instead of having wheels, pardon me, instead of having wheels that are wooden, they're using plastic. So you're starting to see age will relate to this. When are the plastics going down so they can mass produce these? Sold the duck for 80. Luciano sold the duck like this for 80. In this, and your duck was probably in very good condition. This one, want to know what it's worth? Do your guesses. Ask your husband or your wife or your partner or your friend or whoever's with you, your family, your kids, your grandparents, whoever's with you. What do you think? All the guesses are in. This one in this condition is worth $20. All right. Hazel wasn't too far off. $20. Why? Condition is king or queen, as they say, right? So you got to think about condition, right? Tidbits, information that I want you to get. I want you to have the news that you can use, right? I want you to know what questions to ask. What are the questions you should be asking? Date, how old is it? Materials, what's it made of? Maker, who made it, right? Size, how big is it? I want you to use that. Tom's was right. I want you to use your measuring tape. You would have overpaid. See, hammer that. There you go. There's the example, Hazel. Hammer that would have paid more. Luciano had somebody sold a similar piece for a lot more, for literally 4 times what this one's worth. His was probably in very good condition. This one's in what I would consider fair to good condition, basically good condition. But the treasure hunt game is going to teach you what to do. This is why I do it over and over again, so you guys learn the stuff and have fun playing the treasure hunt game, because you know me from the History Channel. You know me, of course. I'm all about the treasure hunt and making you learn what's what. I want you to educate those eyeballs. We're going to do it in another way. Person would have paid way too much. I like the dog, though. So way too much. I want you to learn from other things, stuff that's around you. So here's something that was around me. In 2016, I saw this particular piece when I was traveling. And I saw this particular element because I was stuck in a very famous city in the Mediterranean in Europe, Southern Europe. I was stuck there because the cruise that I was on actually couldn't go any farther. So it was stuck in this particular city, seeing that particular steeple of a famous place. Do you know where it is? Do you know what it is? Guesses? I want you to start to educate those eyeballs and what's happening right around you. This will help you at the thrift store, the flea market, the antique shop. This will help you if you are cleaning out or downsizing. This will help you if you're just shopping online. The more you educate your eyeballs, I'm going to teach you what I have taught people. I'm going to teach you what I have taught people so they can make money and so they can keep pieces together. Susie, it is not India. It is not Istanbul. No, it is not it's not Istanbul. Bobby, is it Spain? Is it Spain? Granada. John thinks it might be Granada. Bobby and John are in the right place. It is not Morocco, but Morocco, the form is actually typical of Morocco. A giraffe. Is it a giraffe? Is it Italy? It's not Italy. Is it Venice? It's not Venice. Moorish. The architecture relates to the Moors. And do you remember Spanish history? They had a 700-year war with the Moors, the Spanish and the Moors. In January of 1492, Ferdinand and Isabella, before they gave money to Columbus, they actually had finished the war with the Moors. So are we in Spain? You're thinking Greece. What do you think? Portugal, close. Is it metal? It's not metal. We'll show it to you again. It's not African. We'll show it to you again. It's in a famous European city. Right? Do you see all those elements, all those round elements? Do you see the form in the middle? Do you see how it's up high? Do you see what else is in the picture? Look at the whole picture, right? So you see these different colored panels, right? But there was something else orange in the picture, which might help you to identify where it is or how high or low it is in a landscape, right? Do you see the scaffolding in the picture? I want you to look at everything. Is it Bastille? No. Is it Madrid? No, but you're close. It's not Peru. It is not South America. It's in Europe. London, not Egypt. It's in Europe. Barcelona. Joanne got it. That particular piece. Now, do you know what it is? You know it's in Barcelona. Do you know what it is? The city is very famous. Here's a shot of the city. It reminds you of Big Bird? Okay. Well, this particular piece is a very, very famous cathedral. And I'm going to show you the cathedral. There's the scaffolding. Do you see what that orange was in that first picture? There's the scaffolding. I want you to educate those eyeballs. And you're seeing this, which is La Sagrada Familia, the famous, of course, the famous cathedral by Antonio Gaudí. You go to Barcelona and everyone says, we've got to see the Gaudí church. That's the steeple on, of course, Gaudí's church. And there's the whole city. There's a good shot, of course, a little bit foggy that day, a good shot, of course, of the still unfinished cathedral of the great architect of the early 1900s, Antonio Gaudí. And Gaudí's churches relate to, and his forms relate to a lot of the stuff that you said. It's very big. It looks huge. It's very huge. It relates to biomorphic forms. It relates to forms that look like dinosaurs. Oh, Bobby lived in Spain, so she knew that that was, of course, in Barcelona, the great Catalan city. That's a beautiful example and a wonderful piece. Antonio Gaudí, the great architect, actually lived in the cathedral as he was working on it. He worked on it day and night. It was his life's work. He engaged many, many architects to work with it. I want you to understand about travel because as you educate your eyeballs about things like architecture and paintings and museums, you're going to learn what to look for when you are shopping yourself or looking around your home at your own art, antiques, and collectibles, right? So it's a great idea. I want to thank you for the super chats and the super stickers. I want you also to remember that in the description of the channel, we have a binge link where I give you a lot of information. Yes, thanks for the super chats and the super stickers. They help support the channel. I appreciate that. But I want you to know what's what. I want you to be able to do that. Don't forget to go to the binge link and don't forget to binge because the more you watch, the more information you're going to get. Maybe one time you're going to watch one of my, of course, glass videos and you say, okay, I learned all about how I identify lead crystal. I understand what Bohemian glass is versus American glass. I can see a piece of Murano and know whether or not it's Scandinavian case glass or Murano, Italian case glass. I can see the nuances. Dr. Lori's going to teach me this stuff. And you can see that in one video, and you can then go back and say, oh, I missed that part of the video because I was concentrating on the piece that I had, which was a piece of imperial glass, when I really now want to learn more about this piece of Murano glass that I might have. So realize that the videos, you could watch them more than once, but there are hundreds and hundreds of them on, of course, the binge link, so you can binge them all, and I hope that you're learning. You're all telling me that you're learning. On the video calls, I have to tell you, so many of you are telling me, Dr. Lori, I really appreciate being able to talk with you one-on-one in a video call and that you make it cost-effective for me to have pieces of praise and to just get your expertise one-on-one, just to ask questions and have you answer questions because we know that you're the expert in the field. Yes, I'm happy to do that. It works very well. A lot of people are taking advantage of it. And again, a lot of big surprises on the community tab. So I want you to go to the community tab. I want you to look there. I want you to see what's what. And I want you to open your mind to these other places. So right here, here's how you get to the community tab. You must subscribe on YouTube. So that means it'll say subscribe. It's a red button. Got to click it. There's a bell next to it. Ring the bell. But basically, subscribe. Make sure you're part of the channel community because I'm going to put the extras on the community tab. The same way, thank you, Liz. Thank you very much for the super sticker. The same way that my staff said, we're going to give Dr. Lori a Dr. Lori cam because the community says we can't see these objects close enough. My office, I mean, literally in 1 week, my office was able to turn this around and say, Dr. Lori, we're going to give you a Dr. Lori cam so people can see clearly. So the people on the replay who couldn't make it for the live can look at the pieces and play along. So they're not frustrated. So that's wonderful. And that's what happens when you're dealing with an expert on a channel. I'm very happy and I'm lucky to have these experts who are helping me with these kinds of things. But the Dr. Lori cam is right out of how the community says, we need this, Dr. Lori, and I'm giving it to you because I want you to learn it. I want you to get it. I want you to succeed. And I'm happy to hear that all of you are trying to do this and able to succeed. It is not an easy thing to do, to be able to say, I want to contribute to my family financially. I want to start something else up new. I want a different job. I love antiques. I love vintage. I want to buy, I want to resell, or I want to buy and I want to keep. Nothing wrong with that. I want to start my collection. I want to know that I'm collecting things that are valuable, and I'm going to teach you how to do it. I'm going to teach you how to do it. So thank you for that. Don't forget about the tools of the trade. Dr. Lori's treasure hunt tools, the treasure hunt kit is, of course, includes the loop and other pieces that I really want you to get. And that's also on the shopping page. You've got to scroll down, go to the shopping page, and then you'll see, it'll say go shopping now. Click on go shopping now on the shopping page at the bottom. And basically you're going to see where you could actually buy the loop. You can buy the gemstone, the diamond tester and such. Nat, thank you so much for the super sticker. Ohio State Buckeyes, I do love you. Thank you so much for the super sticker. I know that this is a way that you folks are telling me that I'm doing something that's helping you, and I appreciate you supporting the channel. You're supporting things like the Dr. Lori cam, right? And I'll get better at using it as I go on. But I want to do what we can do that's best. That's what experts do for folks in their community. So click on that community tab. And remember, when we send you an email, when I send you an email back, if you send a photo to the website, I send you an email back, read the email. I gave you the information and the steps of what to do next. If you have a question, sure, send an email back, but typically read it. There's usually a lot of information right there of how you can take the next steps and how we can solve whatever issues you might have. Right. I'm glad to have shown you Barcelona. I remember Barcelona very, very well. I've been there many times. Great museums, the Miro Museum, great pieces, of course, that relate. The Picasso Museum is there. The Picasso Museum is there. I was there at the Picasso Museum, and outside the Picasso Museum in Barcelona, there, of course, were these two armed guards. They had these big, huge guns, beautiful guys. They were adorable, the two of them. And they're two cops standing out there, armed guards with the gun. And I wanted to take a picture with them. So one of these days I'll show you the picture of me with the guns and the guys. And it was a lot of fun right after the Picasso Museum, but wonderful examples too. Smile always. Let's smile for Smile Always with the super sticker. Thank you very much for your support. Your support helps. Your support helps make more videos. Your support helps, of course, to maintain the staff. Okay, it's an unmanned camera tonight, and this, of course, is manned by me or womaned by me. But in fact, I need the help from my staff, as well as I need all of your help. I need you to tell me what you want. So that's what I'm trying to give you. So this is a very good example of what happens on this channel versus, of course, others. But thank you, Liz. I love the stories too. I love to tell the stories. I've met so many wonderful people all over the world. Tremendous people. So we were stuck in Barcelona that time, and I was lecturing at the museums and on board the ship, and I was talking about all these different things, and a lot of the other lecturers, they didn't know what else to talk about because they hadn't been in Barcelona. They didn't have all these other lectures to do. So I ended up talking every single day that trip. But it was a lot of fun. I had a wonderful time. And of course, went through and went to some of the museums and the shops. And we had a terrific time looking at, of course, the art, antiques, and collectibles of Barcelona. So that was a great time. But I wanted to show you Gaudí, because Gaudí is Barcelona. His Casa Milà, of course, his Sagrada Familia, the park, of course, that was actually named for one of his patrons. And that idea that he wanted the forms to look sort of animalistic, that the roof and the steeples of the church would actually look like prehistoric animals. And you can see that too. He loved tile and the way in which the sun, the light, people will talk about Catalan light, the way in which the sunlight will actually hit those tiles and they will make a different reflection. A beautiful, beautiful city. I hope if you never had a chance to go there, I hope you have a chance to visit Barcelona. And I hope to take you there, virtually with my, of course, treasure hunt game and with my live treasure hunt game events like tonight. My daughter lives in Barcelona near Sagrada Familia. Let me know the next time you're going up. I'll hook you up. Okay. Well, thank you for trying to hook me up. I do appreciate that. That's very nice. But, I got my friends too. There's not a museum that I can't get myself into, let me tell you. But that is a wonderful place. And to see the interior is really pretty spectacular. And they're still working on it. So there you go. I wish your daughter well, of course, in Barcelona. I hope she's enjoying it. All right, let's see. Pardon me. Oh, last time I was like coughing like it was terrible. But I was talking a lot today. I was doing a lot of video calls, and we had a great time. I found a wonderful, wonderful piece today for someone. I was able to identify a mark on the spot for one of the video callers, and it was a lot of fun today. And it's always fun to tell somebody, wow, you really found a real bargain. I hope you're watching the new videos. They, of course, premiere on Sunday evenings at 5 with me. But I also want to remind you that Dr. Lori notebook is getting fat. Do you have a Dr. Lori notebook? I've seen them. If you haven't got Dr. Lori notebook where you take notes from my videos, please send me a picture. I'd love to see them. I'd love to see the Dr. Lori notebooks and how you're doing. The front cover, you know, I don't know if you're decorating them or how you're keeping them, but I'm very happy because when you write it down, it goes from here and it stays here. So write the stuff down. Yeah, I'm so happy you're doing the notebooks. Or just keep watching because you can watch over and over and over again, and you're going to learn a lot from the videos. But good, that's why it's for. That's what it's for. I'm happy to help you. You know that I'm the PhD Antiques Appraiser, and my degrees are from the University of Michigan, Wesleyan University, and my alma mater, of course, for my PhD, which is Penn State University, where I was also on the faculty. So a lot of fun. Okay, so we've got one more for you. What do you think? One more for you. So this particular piece, let's see what else we've got. So I've got this piece in my hand that I wanted to have part of this particular game. I want to show you it's relatively fragile. It's relatively fragile, and I'm pointing out the fragility of this particular piece, and I want to know what questions you might ask. So I'm going to show it to you there, right up here. I'm going to show you the interior. I'm going to point out this part. I'm going to move this back. I'm going to go like this. Now, don't get lazy. You're all going, show me the Dr. Lori cam. Show me the Dr. Lori cam. You got to look here first. What's it made of? Okay, it is made of antler, blue glass beads, and hide, animal hide like a leather, and wood over here at this portion. This is also actually woven animal hide. Is it bone or ivory? There is no bone. There is no ivory. This is an antler horn. Rhonda-itis, thank you for your support. Again, I appreciate it very much. Thank you for your support. So D says pipe. Is that the question? Let's put this in a form of a question. Laura says Native American. Is it Native American? Yes. It's Navajo. Is it Native American? Yes. What else? How old is it? That would be a good question. How old is it? Some of these pieces can be as old as, of course, the 1300s. Some of these pieces can be as young as the early 1900s. What kind of antler? What kind of antler? That's a good question. Try to narrow it down, right? Try to basically narrow it down. What other questions? What else do you want to know? What's it used for? What's it used for? Right? What's it used for? That's a good question. Use. Let's go to the Dr. Lori cam. It is not a toy, Jackie. It is not a toy. So, how about that? I'm going to hold that like this. I'm going to see if I can't move it. Oh, I'm getting so good at this. Aren't I getting good at this? Here we go. You can see about use, right? Okay. And here, I'm getting good at this. I'm getting good at this. My staff's going to be so proud of me. And then there's this. Do you see that? Sometimes damage will tell you a lot. Sometimes damage will tell you a lot. So I would consider that little area damage. Is it museum quality? Well, yeah, I would say that a museum might take this. Yes, I think a museum might take this to show something about the culture. Wow, the chat is going fast. It's always fast with me. So much information, right? Are you guessing? What do you think? Liz says it's dates between 1900 and 1920. That's what Liz says. 1900 and 1920. What type of knots? What type of knots on this area that would actually be how you would hold it or store it? Those are single knots. Used with fire. Oh, you're going to use it with fire based on condition. Lori, thank you for the super sticker, Lori. It's always good to see you. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for subscribing to the channel, to all of you. And don't forget about the community tab. Where was it found? This particular piece was found in the southwestern United States. Is it museum quality? I would say that a museum could take this. Mick, thank you very much for your super chat. I appreciate it. You're supporting the channel and all that I do and all that the staff does to make sure that you have high quality, highly instructive, and the news you can use about art, antiques, and collectibles. Not just, oh, this is this, and I think that, and I like the color. Information. Is there a smell of tobacco? There is not a smell to it. My nose is good because I don't like smells. You know that. So I'm pretty, if I smell something, I'm going to know pretty quickly about the smell. So no, I do not smell something, which could mean that it was used a long time ago. Let me show you this part, because this will help you when you're identifying, when you are trying to identify, hang on a minute. When you're trying to identify antler horn. So if you know it's an antler, it should look like this, right? And then this side looks like that. All right. Okay. So you might have an idea about it. Oh, see, my hand was on the thing. Well, I'm not great at the Dr. Lori Cam, but I'm learning. All right. Question, what about value? What are your guesses? What do you think? You like the musty smell of money. Okay. What is the wire for if you can hold the pipe? Well, I think actually this particular idea is so you can actually attach it or put it up like on a nail somewhere. So perhaps when others are smoking with you, you can have it, sort of waiting there. Imagine a wooden beam, for example. You can put it up on a nail on a wooden beam, or you can also attach it to yourself, right? Is it a ceremonial pipe? What other questions do we have? Let's guess some values. What do you think it's worth? What do you think it's worth? Dr. Lori's treasure hunt game. Which piece is the treasure? Which piece is the treasure? Let's guess those values. You probably have a pretty good idea of what it is, how old it is. I told you what the materials are. 75, 150, 375, Michael, 200. Wow. 50. Wow. Navajo ceremonial pipe with blue seed beads, 85, 225, 145, $1,000, $1,000. This is teaching you all about the market. You can see how people are all over the place with what they think things are worth, and that might indicate what they think they might be willing to spend. So I'm trying to teach you about the market too. Smile says $1,600. Luciano, 115. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? 78, couple more. 800. 800. What do you think? Michael thinks 1,000 is a bit too high, and I want you to do that. I want you to sort of think about it and go, have I seen others like it? Do I know where the market really is? And can I trust the source? Me, you can trust. I'm the source. But basically, you see all these people who don't always know what they're doing, these yahoos who are putting up numbers high, putting up numbers low. You've got to see whether or not that really is reflective of the market. Okay, so those are my guesses. Very good guesses. 300 from Danielle. Very good guesses. All right, and you know what? This particular piece of the treasure hunt game, I told you got to go to the community tab to find out the true value. Go to the community tab, and that's where you'll learn, in fact, where the answer is. There's big surprises, not only about this pipe and its origin, its time period or date, and its value, but lots of big surprises are coming for all of you on the community tab. So subscribe to the channel and get there. The answer's on the community tab, and so are a lot of other surprises that you're gonna love. I'm Dr. Lori. Thanks for being with me here tonight. Don't forget, it's Ask Dr. Lori live Saturday night at 7 Eastern. Saturday night at 7 Eastern, 7 p.m. Eastern. We'll be there. I'll be there too for Ask Dr. Lori live. See you next time.